Yo, what's going on, guys? So it is another Friday, which means another Star Wars unboxing. So besides this, we have, say, 2 more weeks. Which is probably going by pretty fast. Hopefully, we should start being in the Thundercats. No, Silverhawks first. Everything is kind of flowing together, which is insane. So I have been ordering stuff online still. Trying to collect all the DVDs I can. Like I said, I'm trying to get all of the Once Upon a Time. So I just ordered season 5. That's on the way. 2 more seasons. There is, I think, 1 season of Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I don't know if they came out on DVD. Don't know if I want it. I did order Grimm, finally. That's on the way. Started ordering some cartoons. Little by little, things are getting done. So Super 7 has finally announced a new IP. I really don't know how I feel about it. Super 7 has announced Visionaries. So for those of you who don't know, Visionaries was, I think, aired in the 1980s. It was a 13-episode cartoon series that shouldn't have failed, but failed. It was a days So the world itself was far into the future. Technology, we're talking Futurama's technology. And then one day the world just stopped. Everything in the world stopped. All technology. Which forced the population to go back to nights. But somehow magic came back, but only to certain few, known as the Visionaries. The good guys were called Spectral Knights, the bad guys called Darkling Lords. So there were 7 original characters in each faction, 1 woman, and 6 guys. Out of the 6, 4 had staffs that could summon great power. The other 2 guys were able to operate machineries. So the leader of the Spectral Knights was Leoric. They all had plates on their chests that could magically turn them into whatever beast was on their chest through magic. Leoric was a lion. His staff was wisdom. There was Arzon, who had an eagle. His staff was knowledge. Cryotech was a bear. His staff was strength. Whitterquick was cheetah with staff of speed. Ector was a one-seated vehicle that had a lance as a weapon. They also had a magic. I forget what the vehicles could do though. I think his was some kind of a protection shield. Farrell drove a chariot that had 2 air seats. So it was a 3-seater. The air seats had magics on their back. And then there was the female. I forget what her name was. It was G. Ector, I believe, was a wolf. Farrell was a fox. The female Galaria, or whatever it was a dolphin. she didn't have a staff or vehicle. In the comic books, at the end, they introduced more knights, as well as gave the two females their extra powers. And these knights and the females were able to carry shields with the powers, which honestly made more sense than the staffs. Her animal was a dolphin. And if I remember correctly, her power was to heal. Darkling Lords, Darkstorm was their leader. His animal was a musk, sort of a snail. His powers was a two-pointer, because he could unleash a beast that could decay something, or in turn it could also revitalize something. It was a pretty insane power. Sindar was a gorilla, was Cryotech's counterpart. His power was destruction. Kravix was a pilot, which is Arzon's counterpart. It was instead of an eagle, it was like a pterodactyl, but smaller. His powers was fear. Lexor was an armadillo. His power was shield, or staff. Then you got Mortred, who was a beetle. He flew, the only vehicle that could fly. Recon was a lizard. His vehicle was huge. And I remember they had a chamber that could suck the magic out of you. The female, I can't remember her name, started with a V. It was a weird name. But once she got her shield, her power was disease. I am picking up the original toys. I currently have Darkstorm. Currently have Kravix. Just the figures. Not the vehicles, and just the Darkling Lords. I did order Sindar. The two biggest ones to get is Mortred and Recon. Like I said, I don't want the shield. I don't want the vehicles. But it is hard to find a complete version of either of these two. And a cheap version of either of these two. Currently incomplete recon is about $250 on eBay, which is insane. But I'm really interested to see what Super 7 can do. Remind you that the chest plates were these animals, and it was a very weird thing. The staffs could, if you turn the character and the staff, both the animal changes from the Spectra Knight symbol to the animal. The staff changes from the Spectra Knight or the Darkling Lord symbol to the power. I want to see how big they make these characters. If they have the plates, the staffs, the shields, who they make. Honestly, I would love Super 7 to do Inhumanoids. But making the monsters are gonna be insane. I mean, the characters themselves would be about 50 to 60. The good guy monsters, which are the smaller ones, should be about 120. And the big monsters would be Metlar, Tendra, and Decompose. That's got to be about 2 something. Insane. But let's get back to Star Wars. Today we got Zori Bliss, Dash Rendar, and Captain Brutus. With these three, we're almost caught up with the third line. We got 6 more to go for the 4th line for now. So let's get into it. Thankfully, she only comes with 2 guns. Gosh. However, if you look at these things, they are definitely some old-fashioned Western guns. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the character itself, but this character fits in with what I'm trying to do, and it's Curry Russell. So, I mean, I had to get her. And I think that's what this. I had a plan of what this shelf was supposed to be, and I kind of went far off the plan, but not too far. So, like I said, it's me trying to collect figures. Some of my favorite figures. It was supposed to be trying to keep it down to bounty hunters, scoundrels, assassins. But some of it has gotten to be characters I like, and some of it has gotten to be actors and actresses I like. So Dash only comes with his one pistol. Which at first glance looks like Hans. But notice the eyesight view is a little off. He looks so weird out of the box. So I kind of like these new Star Wars backgrounds as we went from red to colorful stuff, but with some kind of drawings. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pistols. 5 freaking pistols. For the pirate captain. Not bad. Yeah, I like that he looks like a werewolf. Dash being Dash. They look great. I definitely didn't realize he came with 5 pistols. I kind of wish the helmet was removable. But yeah, these should fit nicely. So we have room for Guido, and whenever they make Sam, then the 2 assassin droids, might put the Sam people on this side, Kira and Marion, and then have 3 empty spots right in the middle. It's definitely better than I expected it to be. Next up, Cobra officers. Finally get this thing done. See all the mess down there. The ones we have to open. And then after Cobra, Sith Lords. Well guys, thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon. Be safe. Aloha.